Setting up an online store has never been simpler. But scaling from a weekend project to a high-volume operation requires rigorous technical planning. Traditional platforms win early on by offering out-of-the-box convenience. You pick a template, install a few standard plugins, and your catalog is live in an afternoon. That convenience breaks down the moment you introduce actual business complexity. When you need distinct B2B wholesale pricing tiers, multi-currency checkout, or precise tax routing across varying jurisdictions, standard templates fall short. To compensate, merchants stack third-party applications. You end up with one plugin handling subscriptions, another attempting to manage wholesale discounts, and a third trying to sync inventory. Your data duplicates across different databases, causing sync delays and critical inventory errors. Relying on this patchwork method to support a growing business guarantees instability. You build a fragile structure of competing APIs that eventually collapses under the weight of high sales volume. eshopOS abandons the fragmented app model. Instead, it operates on an API-first infrastructure built entirely around a unified core system of record. Rather than outsourcing vital functions to external plugins, the platform centralizes your catalog, inventory, and customer states into one native engine. Every piece of your commerce stack reads from the exact same source of truth. Because the infrastructure handles large volume data natively, you bypass the performance bottlenecks that force growing businesses into multi-month platform migrations. Adopting this requires a shift in your operational mindset. You leave behind the comfort of simple drag-and-drop menus and surface-level configuration. To achieve enterprise-grade scale, you trade the quick, messy setup process for strict architectural discipline from day one. This dashboard shows the internal eshopOS state engine. By utilizing this unified system, merchants eliminate external inventory sync apps. The engine tracks global stock states across all channels. Items transition from available to reserved and finally to shipped without any manual input. When a customer adds an item to their cart, the system places a soft reservation on that specific unit. Once payment clears, the engine makes a hard deduction, permanently removing it from the available pool. This level of automation demands rigorous preparation. You must map your entire inventory using the structured catalog to define infinite variants before you can accept a single order. You can no longer simply type a product name and hit publish. Every item requires precise metadata and classification to function in the system. If you have complex pricing rules or B2B wholesale tiers, those must be explicitly programmed into the catalog data during this initial stage. This meticulous data modeling slows down your initial launch timeline. However, doing the heavy lifting upfront eliminates warehouse sync errors and overselling as your order volume multiplies. The second major trade-off involves specialized sales channels. eshopOS provides a native B2B engine, bypassing the fees and technical debt of bolted-on wholesale plugins. Because it relies on a single source of truth, the built-in multi-currency system dynamically pulls from the exact same inventory pool as your standard retail storefront. This same logic applies to taxation. The advanced tax routing system evaluates the customer's destination at checkout and applies specific collection rules automatically based on your active jurisdictions. Advanced systems require constant operational oversight. They demand an active owner who understands your legal obligations, manages the rulebook, and simulates checkout behaviors to verify accuracy. Here is the shipping configuration interface. You manually dictate unique operational rules for distinct global regions to ensure accurate fulfillment paths. These regions require distinct rate mappings. The engine only executes the logic you explicitly program into it. Built-in complexity gives you enterprise-level control without the bloat of external apps, but it requires you to implement strict operational governance and thorough testing to prevent costly miscalculations. Finally, we have to look at the presentation layer. eshopOS uses its developer API to decouple your consumer-facing storefront from the back-end commerce core. This headless architecture allows businesses to build bespoke shopping experiences into external platforms, whether that's a custom mobile app or an interactive social media ecosystem. These custom front ends operate completely independently. You can redesign the entire customer experience without risking the stability of your underlying catalog or inventory data. To escape monolithic templates, you need developer resources. A technical team actively manages system credentials, secure keys, and integration scopes. External applications handshake with the core system using these strictly defined read and write permissions, keeping data locked down. By separating the front end from the back end, you trade the immediate comfort of pre-packaged design templates for the precise, secure customizability required by modern brands. Given these trade-offs, we have to establish exactly who should avoid a unified core system. If you are a single product dropshipper or a weekend crafter fulfilling a few orders locally, this architecture will feel wildly over-engineered. If your business only requires a manual tax setup, applying one standard rate across a single country, you simply do not need the complexity of an automated state engine. If your primary goal is an immediate, low-effort launch without the need for long-term architectural planning, adopting eshopOS will act as a roadblock rather than an accelerator. On the other hand, the ideal users for this system are scaling B2B wholesalers, multi-store operators, and complex retail brands. These are merchants who are currently buried under 40 different monthly app subscriptions, spending their days untangling data sync failures. Developer-led teams use this centralized infrastructure to bypass the creative constraints of legacy template ecosystems, building exactly what their customers demand. At high volume, a fragile web of third-party plugins introduces unacceptable technical debt. Consolidating into a unified system provides the stability required for serious growth. eshopOS provides the architectural stability large-scale merchants eventually require, acting as the permanent, unbreakable core for brands that have outgrown the limitations of simple templates.